We should start a crematorium business, and we should call it Triple S. You carry, we bury.
I thought you said we should start a Krispy Kreme business, and now I'm not as excited.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Words with Nerds. As always, I am the illustrious but pretty forgettable Sundance, aka DJ.
I'm slick. I have nothing for the middle this time, Vic.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Space Krispy Kreme Case.
You're just gonna be
What
holding a
issue is
Krispy
it?
Kreme box.
Yeah, that's me. What issue? This is issue 26?
26.
26.
Ooh,
26.
baby girl.
That was a good year for me. Baby squirrel, you a sexy mother. Cool.
Yeah.
Who's we?
Sick, dude. Yeah.
Sick. Who's
Anyways,
yeah. Huh?
Yo, whose week is it? What are we talking about this week?
Yeah, what's going on? What's the topic this week?
It's
Victor.
It's my week, guys. So I'm still thinking about the crematorium Krispy Kreme, which is a great
You
idea.
carry, we bury with a free pack of Krispy Kremes.
What do you think the glaze is made out of?
Do you want some Uncle Tony? Just like a box of Krispy Kreme. What'd you say? Speaking of crispy dead people, we're actually going to be talking about one movie that came out 4 weeks ago on Netflix, which is Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. We're going to go over just a few little quick points of it, our favorite stuff of it, our honest opinions of it. But for right now, we got a nice little warm-up because we got to warm up the jokes and shit. Any of you guys have something to talk about?
Good segue.
Right?
That's just a great segue.
That was a pretty good segue. Yeah,
I'm trying.
dude.
Goddamn segue.
Getting
We're
real
getting
good
better.
at this thing.
I'm trying. So any of you guys got something to talk about? Something like nerdy? Something that's been on your mind?
So it's been on my mind.
Yeah.
I'll stick to
Georgia.
podcast related stuff. Dude, every first 10,
Georgia.
I hit my microphone. Have you guys not noticed this? It's a curse.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
It's a curse. Someone needs to come to my house and, throw some holy water to break this curse.
I think, you
Juice
could
just
hire
like-
somebody for that.
Seriously.
Let's hire somebody.
Okay.
Get on it, Victor.
But yeah, anyways, so I know some cool shit that's going on right now. So this weekend, so for podcast time in real time, that is, it'll be the day after. No, 2 days after the podcast comes out. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for Overwatch League, we have the June Joust right now. We got our qualifiers. Yeah, the June Joust. There's 4 tournaments throughout the year. The team that wins like, I think it's like $100,000 if they win the tournament. So they do a tournament 3 times, and the last tournament's just the playoffs. So this is the second tournament out of 4. So yeah, we got that coming up this weekend. It's Shanghai versus New York, and then it's Dallas.
Ooh.
And we're recording on Sunday. The games are happening right now. It's either Atlanta or San Francisco that takes that last spot. So that'll be cool.
Who do you think's gonna win, or who's your money on?
So Dallas and Shanghai are the only 2 returning teams from last month's tournament, the May Melee.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up being the final 2, and then Dallas won. So I can see them doing it again. I can see Dallas and Shanghai going back, and Dallas.
Hold on. Did you just say LA and Dallas?
Shanghai and Dallas.
Shanghai and Dallas. Sorry. Okay. I thought it was a good parallel because, like, in the NBA playoffs, there's the Clippers and Dallas are like LA and Dallas are in like their tiebreaker game. So I thought that would
be pretty crazy.
That would have been pretty cool. As such, it's not. So
yeah, that's my predictions for the June Joust. But that's really all I got for the first kind of random things of the podcast, I guess. What about you guys?
I was gonna say that Victor, if you don't mind me saying, you and your special lady friend are hilarious because I don't know if you guys know it, but you two send me on TikTok. Like you guys send me TikTok separately. So like I'll open like the app and I'll have like 20 messages and 20 notifications, and 20 of the notifications, like half of them are from you and the other half are from Amanda. And I think that's hilarious
because we
you guys are vastly different. But you guys are vastly different in like the TikToks that you send me. Like you just send me like super bro stuff. And Amanda's is just like very like sweet and so nice.
I feel bad.
They're so nice.
I'll be honest with both of you, which is really funny. And she listens to the podcast. So it's just one of the fucking. Well, we got a pretty decent amount of listeners now, but she's one of the listeners too. So she'll hear this. Like I send you two the truly inappropriate shit that I cannot send her.
Oh yeah,
where I'm just like, this is so funny. I need to send this to somebody. And I just send it to both of you. Did I send you guys like the Kermit the Frog mayo one?
Honestly, okay. So 2 things. I'm glad I'm not.
He doesn't check TikTok.
Yeah.
What?
That's one of my 2 things. I'm glad I'm that friend for you that you can send me the worst of the worst, and you know I'll be okay with it. And yeah, like David said, I do not check my TikTok messages at all. I haven't actually been on TikTok in months.
You just phase me as like a person that's messages. You're just very non-social media. Like
I kind of am, yeah.
Like if you have to be on there, you will be. But if you're not, you're just like whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's
which is wonderful because that is definitely balancing out us.
You're gonna be sitting down one day, just open up TikTok, see all the TikToks I sent you, and it ranges from just like, oh, he sent me 1 or 2 really funny dog ones, and then he sent me like, oh, this dude getting hit with a fucking steel chair.
Oh my god! Yeah, honestly, maybe tonight I'll go through all the TikToks you guys have been sending me.
I didn't know that you had a TikTok, so I send stuff in mind when I send it to like. I send them to Taylor, and I'm just like, oh, maybe Vince might find this funny, and then I'm just like, oh, maybe Taylor might find this funny.
Show me the ones you sent. But sweet. Okay, you guys saw IRL what happened to me yesterday towards the nighttime, and you guys did ask if somehow we can integrate it into this week's issue. So I think since we're on the topic of social media and how frequently we are on social media ourselves, I will post my Instagram story from last night of me doing something really dumb and really awesome and looking like a jackass. Awesome. But yeah, I can roll it right here. Good. I know. I didn't. Just hold it with both hands.
You gotta go with the rhythm. Oh shit!
And yeah, that was really dumb. It was really stupid.
But it's a
super dumb
bit.
I tried.
Like dude, when you told me you were doing that, when you were like riding a mechanical bull, I'm just like, and you're in the hospital now? I don't know.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Why
did you use the same cadence?
I was peer pressured.
Bro, we're old as fuck. Like that shit is
fuck that. You were not peer pressured. I saw your face in that video and you were like, I'm ready.
You had glazed over eye look where you're like, I can ride a bull.
You hopped over it like you were like this bull is you were like the bull is its yes call.
I will say you were peer pressured at one point because you guys just play back that part. But when you're like getting on there and you're holding on with both hands, someone's like, "You gotta do it with one," and you're like this. And you're like,
no, I thought it was the opposite because he started doing it with one, and then it was just like, "No, you just use 2, man."
Oh, was it the opposite?
I thought somebody in the crowd was just like, "Just relax, bro."
Yeah. That's how they do it in the Wild West. I figured, they're killing it. They're never falling off. So I was like, I'm just gonna put my hand in the air. If anything, I'm saying hello to everyone watching.
Pretty much,
dude. So I thought it was gonna violently throw you. I was waiting for that. I'm just like,
I was waiting for it too.
And
I wish, dude.
And you just rolled off. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
So speaking of Dave Bautista, let's get into the nitty gritty of the subject for this week. Victor, take us into it, man.
If only Dwayne Johnson was the star of this movie, that would have been a great bowl transition right there.
We can't keep.
It's not.
I feel like
it doesn't matter what the transition is. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it looks like Victor's gonna try and do it today. Yeah, and let me. Sorry, doing my macho
Keep
man.
going.
Sorry, I get into it. Oh yeah, gonna do Army of the Dead this week. Yeah. Oh yeah, all you nerds out there. Yeah, looks like Vince Cassell's on the sale right now. Yeah. Sorry.
Come on, homie. You watch wrestling too. Don't act like
Dude, I
don't
grew
act
up on
like
wrestling, and it's in my notes for this episode. So I'm ready to dive in and start talking about this movie.
Jet flight. All right, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's do it.
So Zack Snyder released this nice little flick on Netflix. Dude, I will talk about it in a minute, but it came out 4 weeks ago, Thursday. I remember me and Vince were still working together. I was like, dude, I'm watching this right now. The whole story follows Scott Ward. So, spoiler alert, the very beginning of the movie shows how it happens, which I'm really happy about, where a zombie infection takes over Las Vegas. And it shows the entire city is completely lost. And the story follows pretty much Scott Ward from the beginning of it, where he is kind of like a special forces person saving the city, and then to him leading a team of people back in there to steal $200 million from a casino, because the owner of the casino, played by, cannot say his name, not going to butcher it, Yora
Sonata, yeah.
Yeah, he was in a previous podcast we talked about called with Mortal Kombat. He played Scorpion. He runs a profitable casino, and he informs him, he's like, "Hey, the insurance company paid me off. Get a team together, steal $200 million. You keep $50 million." So he gathers a fun little ragtag group of some well-known, others not, to break into the casino in a zombie-infested city, but it is not as easy as you would imagine. Minus the whole Las Vegas Strip being full of zombies. I will ask you guys this question, and it's just an easy question to start off with. Fuck, marry, kill, which zombies?
Fuck, marry, kill with the zombies.
What's wrong with you?
I just wanted to see the reactions.
I'd kill like the grunts, like the lowly ones. I would marry the alpha, and I would fuck the tiger. No, the Valentine. I'd get it cracking.
My boy Zeus. But for real,
your boy Zeus. Jesus,
that's the alpha's name, Zeus. But straight question, I guess. And it's just so we can build from that part and go into like a nice clean review is, what are your honest thoughts of the movie? What was your honest thoughts on it? And I'm going to start off with Mr. DJ. What was your honest thought of the movie?
I mean, look, it's just another. Honestly, don't expect too much from it, guys. It's just another popcorn flick. I think it's fun because like, one of my favorite movies is Dawn of the Dead, which Zack Snyder, it was his debut movie. Zack Snyder was all over it. It was a remake of the original Dawn of the Dead by Romero. And, I really liked that one. I like that it took place in a mall, that it was Ving Rhames is the shit in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the height of the early 2000s. But no, I mean, this one it's a popcorn flick, dude. And, Zack Snyder's pretty good at those, I think, for the most part. And it was cool. It was enjoyable. It's funny. It's really long, though, which was just my thing. Like, I think I just got off of doing... I actually just watched Fellowship of the Ring. I think the day before I watched Army of the Dead. And as we know, Lord of the Rings, those movies are like fucking 3 hours long, like 3 hours and some change. for the extended editions, and I was like, fuck, like it was just kind of a really long runtime for me. I mean, and that can work in the favor of the movie, depending on the movie. Like Interstellar is very long, but I love that. It's one of my favorite Nolan movies. But I mean, in regards to this one, it's cool. Don't expect too much out of the story. Like, Bautista really carries himself as like a leading man and like an actor. Like he can actually act. It's very cool. I've seen that before. Like we all know he's Drax, but I've seen him in like Blade Runner 2049 and a couple of other like Artemis Hotel and stuff like that. And I like him as an actor, so he really carried it for me. The supporting cast is cool. The action, the CGI, loved it. But just don't go in thinking like, again, a lot of the stuff that we talk about, it's not going to be an Academy Award winning movie. Like it's a zombie movie, but it's a fairly good one. If you're looking for a good action popcorn flick to watch, like Army of the Dead for sure, I would suggest.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Those are great points. Yeah. I'm going to come back to a few of them in a moment. But
well said.
Yeah, Mr. Vince, I want to hear your just honest opinion of the movie.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of really good things about this movie. There are also some not so great things. But I think it's exactly what David just called it. It's a popcorn film. It's just like, Mortal Kombat, King Kong, all of these, just like, they're not to be taken seriously at all. Army of the Dead was the second highest grossing zombie movie of all time, next to here we go.
That was a good movie,
Resident
though.
Evil?
Fuck.
Hold on, I can guess it. Zombie movie, second.
Another zombie movie.
Resident Evil.
No. World
War Z.
Sorry, guys.
Get the fuck
Sorry.
out of here.
Let me recollect my thoughts. So World War Z, it is it's a little bit more serious. You got Brad Pitt carrying that, but I don't think just because this is the second highest grossing zombie movie that it should be taken as seriously as that. It definitely is kind of just a fun movie to go either see in theaters or you can catch it on Netflix. I love how they set it up for us. One of my favorite parts was the intro. It was, as they're rolling the credits, they do a really good job at condensing what could be a 3-hour movie into a 2.5-hour movie. And I think it's because of these opening credits. It's funny because my girlfriend Taylor and we were watching it and she was like, why are these credits so long? And I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, dude, I love this right now.
I was like, dude, plot. Like, this is plot.
It was a throwback to Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
There's so many.
They did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool.
But the intro is definitely something I really liked. It was super creative, and it was also creative in the way that you're telling a story that could take a big chunk of this movie, and you're just condensing it in an Elvis song. So I thought that was pretty cool. That opening scene, it took 5 weeks to film.
What? I could see that. Like a lot of it. Yeah.
I don't know why. 5 weeks to film. That is a long.
They filmed it
3-4 minute scene.
Well, they were filming during COVID, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess they could have something to do with it as well.
So they have a lot of regulations with that. I know that's why. Love and Thunder went to New Zealand to record to record a lot of the movie because they have less restrictions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, David. So like you were saying, there's a lot of Easter eggs in here. I really appreciate all the Easter eggs. There was some like Batman stuff, some Watchmen stuff. Like these are things we were just talking about on a couple podcasts ago, and these are things that we love. And to see that Zack Snyder's Batman, his version of Batman, is in the same universe as Army of the Dead, and I'm sitting here thinking like, now I want to see a Batman zombie movie. Give it to me.
I'd watch that.
I'll watch it so fast.
Hold on. I will say this. Did we not a Batman zombie movie, but I would love to see I know we're off topic, but just real quick, I would love to see a Batman, the Batman Who Laughs. Like that movie. I don't know if you guys have read like the recent story with Watchmen, the Watchmen DC crossover.
Yeah,
the
I've
midnight,
read it. Yeah,
the Doomsday Clock, the Doomsday story, where it's just like the Watchmen and like the DC universe kind of collide, and so eventually, at some point, the Batman Who Laughs takes over the body of Dr. Manhattan. It's so cool. Like,
and
it's
what does
so
he become?
weird.
He becomes the Darkest Knight, right?
The Darkest Knight, yeah.
Where he's like just like
cool.
where Dr. Manhattan's all blue. He's just like all black.
The Flash movie. They put out a teaser with Michael Keaton's Batman signal and some blood on it. So you never know. We might. Sorry, I just nerded out real quick because I totally forgot about that, and I was gonna text you guys, but then I got really drunk and fell asleep. So
don't worry about that.
Weird transition of your night.
Yeah, the weirdest transition.
The Easter eggs, Vince. Holy crap! I was like, I could have gone in that tangent.
Yeah, a lot of really cool Easter eggs in this one. I couldn't even catch them all. I was trying to watch it again and find them all, and they're in there good.
There's
Another
a really
cool Easter egg is there's a scene. I'm pretty sure it's right when they get to the safe. There's a scene where in the background you can see a glass case, and there's 3 rolls of film in there. That is the actual Snyder cut that he wanted in his shot for that shot. Yeah, it's the actual Zack Snyder cut.
Oh, that's dope.
It's pretty badass.
That's funny as shit.
That's so cool.
I feel like overall on the surface with this movie, we don't really get to appreciate it because once you start looking into these things, or you are explained, or someone explains it to you, like what you should be appreciating, I guess. I don't know. You can't really appreciate it because it's almost like on the secret menu of the movie. Like you have to go and like try to find out the little details.
No, I agree. The really good points, both of you, and I agree with both of you entirely. Like it was a popcorn flick. It was a really good popcorn flick. I went in there watching it the same way. Yeah. And it was really interesting. I will say this. Do you guys feel like you would have rather watched the intro? I would have rather watched that movie. If that makes any sense. Them fighting in Las Vegas, but
they're making like a prequel. They're making two. One, I think one is animated and another is live action for Netflix, and they're making prequels to that story. So I'm pretty sure you're going to get that movie anyways.
So that was my only. I liked the movie. Like I watched it thinking this is a good movie. This is a good. I don't know if you guys saw the barrage of people kind of critiquing the movie negatively online. Like I don't. I'm on social media.
You're always gonna get that with these kind of movies. Like, people take these movies so seriously.
Yeah, and it's
I don't know why.
And it's weird because we're all nerds. We're all nerds. Captain fucking Rubik's Cube here. We're all nerds, and we
can't wait to edit that part.
And we watched it all. I watched it with the mentality of like, this is a good flick, and I love Zack Snyder too. Like, I'm a big Snyder fan. It's weird to say because he's always kind of been like a true nerd. And watching this, yeah, it was cool seeing the nods back to Dawn of the Dead. It was very, very cool that at the end there's a major DC it's a DC drop, a DC nod, which is why I liked it. Which is why I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I'll talk about it in a bit, but it was good. It was weird watching all the backlash, but it was really good. And I liked what they did a lot with, and this is one thing that I wanted to touch on because Dave brought it up and I wanted to kind of explore on it more if you guys don't mind. Was it really strange for you? Because I always thought Dave Bautista, like in his role in the movie, like it is the weirdest thing to see him genuinely act so well. Like I've always seen him as a comedic actor, but watching that part in the movie, he was such a good leading man. Was that weird? Or was I the only one that was kind of like, oh, this dude can act? Like it's a shocker. Really?
Not at all. To me, no. So here's my take on Dave Bautista. I'm still calling him Bautista because literally I've grown up with this guy. I was a big wrestling kid as a big wrestling kid as a kid. Why can't I talk tonight, bro? Somebody stop me. I was a big wrestling fan as a kid. There we go. So I saw him from wrestling, and then next thing I know, he's like doing Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, what the hell? This dude's acting in a Marvel movie. But even that, like Drax, yeah, he has depth as you go further into Guardians, that series. But the first Guardians, he's just kind of yelling and grunting and giving one-liners, which is easy acting here. And that's like all coming from his acting experience in wrestling. So it's cool to see that evolution. And then he goes into Blade Runner. And I'm sorry, I'm not touching on every single Dave Bautista movies. These are the ones that just stood out to me. But yeah, he goes into Blade Runner and he plays this quiet farmer. And you can see like his serious, soft delivery when he's in that scene with Ryan Gosling. And I thought right there, I was like, dude, this guy can actually act. And it was only maybe a 5 to 10 minute scene that he was in, and he killed it. He's rememberable for being in the movie for that long. And to me, like, okay, you're a good actor. You made your stamp in the movie at that point.
That's so
yeah. So to see him now in Army of the Dead as the lead, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And I mean, in my opinion, he nails it. There's a few scenes that stood out to me, and one of them is when he wakes up from spoilers. He has to kill his wife because she's turned into a zombie. He wakes up and like he conveys panic and just being sad so well in that scene. And then he drove it home again when, again, spoilers, the I forget her name, but she gets her neck snapped and like turned.
Oh my god, Maria, that's her character
like his
name.
Good friend, yeah. But his reaction there, and I'm pretty sure they even played it in slow mo too. So you really get that sense of emotion from him in a lot of scenes of this movie, actually. So yeah, I thought he did awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. What about you, Dave? What did you think about Mr. Bautista? God damn, I forgot about that scene.
I mean, like I said, he kind of hit Vince hit the nail on the head. Where it's just like,
sometimes I can actually talk, and sometimes it's just.
I've seen Dave Bautista do other like acting gigs, and he just kind of has that potential to have performances that resonate. Like you said, Blade Runner 2049, one of my favorite films.
Dude,
it's definitely like it's definitely.
We went on a bro date to that. I don't know if you remember that, Vince.
Don't even get me started on Blade Runner.
Yeah,
my favorite movie, and it's.
I just want to say I have the collection of
both
for the Blade Runner movies. So if we ever want to marathon it, because they're both in black and gray in the collection that I have. So if you want, if black and white, sorry, if you want to do that, let's fuck it up. But no, I really liked him. I think he's very capable. I knew. I really wish that. Look, don't get me wrong. Tom Hardy as Bane is amazing, but Dave Bautista just kind of fits. I would love to see him play that role, just because he just has like Bane.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that. Oh, I thought you said who? I was like, bitch, what?
Sorry. I'll stop making noises now.
Star-Lord. Ooh. Sorry.
Come on, man. Legendary outlaw. No, I thought he was really good. He do good talk. Good. He do good
talk and wave arms a lot and
he
nice
do
things.
He do good talk, wave arms. I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Look, give man trophy now.
Look, here's the thing. Nobody's touching my stuff. You know, I just want the world to know, Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. So
Bautista do a lot good in Talkie Picture Show. I agree with you both.
He laugh, he cry,
he laugh.
Hey, we had a bro date, Victor. We went to go see About Time, and I just want the audience to know,
dude, that is the most
at that movie.
That is
very
romantic
hard.
That's yeah. We were both like, "Hey, we're out of work. Let's go watch a movie together." And then we watched this romantic movie, and we're both just sitting there. I'm like, crying and look at him and say shit. And then like right when a part happens, I'm like, I'm crying like a bitch. And I look over, I'm like, he's crying like a bitch. We can't look at each other.
We're just sitting there like.
Yeah,
anyways, that's a great segue into. We're gonna take
Speaking of crying, hold on, I got this one. Speaking of crying like bitches, we don't have a sponsor anymore because they were crying like bitches because we said that they were just a starter platform instead of the elite platform that they think they are. So once again, we're just going to take a short break here, but we will be back and we will have more Army of the Dead to talk about. Goodbye.
And we are back from the sponsorless break. Yeah, we are. The whole eyebrow thing you were doing, the Spotify people won't be able to see it, but the YouTube, shout out to the YouTube, will be able to see it. Please like and subscribe.
That's so weird.
Maybe I'll add in some eyebrow moving noises so all the people on Spotify can enjoy it too. I just have to find... Yeah, I just have to find the right noise.
Oh man! Shout out! Oh, can we do that little milestone that we talk about it last time for the YouTube
milestone?
Yeah, well, we had like a little milestone. I mean, it's nothing.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to say it, but honestly, I handle more of the audio side of the stuff. Vince, you are the one who is in charge of the video stuff. And I think you earned it, and I'll follow up with something, but you earned this. So say the little milestone that we hit. Cheers.
Well, first off, I appreciate that. Listen, this is a team effort. All three of us make these videos and podcasts what they are. But what Victor's talking about is we hit our first 100 play video, which hell yeah, that's so cool to hear that 100 people listen to our little tiny podcast.
And now I'm going to follow up. So it's still cheers. It's still going up. That it's weird. I don't know. We gotta talk to the algorithm gods right now. But all of our older videos, for some reason, are going up in plays. I don't know. It's awesome though. Like that one is now at 109, I want to say, and the other ones are reaching it. So it's really cool, and it's all thanks to, honestly, like, thank you, Vince, for making progressively. We've all been getting better at the craft, and Vince has wholeheartedly been showing that. And it's just awesome. I love audio editing, but Vince is that. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Like, it's awesome.
Shit, the last episode was, you guys. I don't know. You don't know how much work he does to like the comic, the cutaway sections. It was beautiful. I got a lot of good comments on that. So, guys, Vince is to thank for that. He does that mercilessly and like with conviction. So, Vince, we definitely appreciate you like being on board and taking the reins for that and doing your thing. And pour myself another drink.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. That was a little surprise. God damn. I mean, yeah, I'm having fun, guys. This is fun to me. I'm happy. You can kind of see my camera back here, but I do not so much anymore, but I grew up with like video stuff and recording and even like music and just recording that and sound editing and everything. So that plus like designing everything, like, it's fun to me, and it's to share with friends and family and people that enjoy the show. So I want to make it as badass for all of us as we can.
I don't know 100 people, so it's actually really cool because I want to be like, well, we have 100 people that listen to us or listen to that one. That's fucking tight. We should have said some really crazy shit. It would have been like, these people are insane. But speaking of like just the crazy shit we talk about on different multitudes of stuff, I did want to go over like kind of the plots of the movie, because that's one big thing that everyone complained about in Army of the Dead. We were talking about that, by the way, originally. Like overall, the plot, it just brief as fuck, because there's way too much into it. It's just a heist movie about zombies. It's a heist movie in Las Vegas, but instead of it being like we gotta Danny Ocean's this shit, it's more like, hey, we gotta like try to make it in here, break into this vault, and get all I'll just try not to die. So they Dave Bautista's character assembles like a cool little ragtag group of people, and that's the plot, is them trying to get there. But there's like so many side plots.
Get this cheddar so they don't get deader.
Yeah, because there's a nuke coming, so a nuke's gonna fuck their day up. But I'm only talking about the main plot. This is the one thing that everyone complained about, and I did not. There's like 18 subplots. Like, that might be an exaggeration, but there is a lot of subplots.
No,
did you guys think that like hindered like the story a bit, or what were your favorite points about it, or what are your critiques on that? Like, just the fact that it was just so within 2.5 hours, it felt like for me, it felt like there was so much to follow. What are your thoughts on that stuff?
If I may.
No, fuck no.
Please.
Sorry, I just didn't want to.
Absolutely not. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again, sir.
Yes. No, so another BTS kind of fun thing I found out, that a lot of it wasn't filmed in Vegas. It was actually filmed in New Jersey and New Mexico.
Viva New Jersey!
They are in Vegas. Like a lot of those like Vegas shots are the Vegas Strip. But a lot of the movie is actually in Atlantic City and New Mexico. Thought that was kind of cool.
That's very cool.
What was the question?
What are your thoughts on every plot, or what were your thoughts on the overall plots being forced onto it and stuff? What were your thoughts? Did you like any of that in particular? Like, did you think a few of them were just unnecessary?
Are you talking about like, are we getting into like alternate timeline already? Are we gonna do that later? Are you actually saying in this movie the plot points throughout this movie?
I wanted to touch on that, but if you want to touch on that, you can't. I just was talking.
No. Sorry, I just want to be sure what we were getting into before I got into it. But if that's what you mean about like with this story for this one at least,
yeah,
wink, wink. Yeah, I didn't mind it. It wasn't too hard to follow. Maybe they broke it up to. They probably broke it up to give the movie, because it's a lot of content, dude. They've got to they can't just give us like a whole chunk of the backstory of why Kate doesn't like Scott. They had to like kind of sprinkle that in, and they sprinkle the other stuff in. I feel like at the end of the movie, everything kind of comes together, which very Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I do agree. That's a good point. Also, just second point, fuck Kate. I did not like that person at all. I did not like the daughter character. Dude, sorry. Terrible actress. She had a terrible, she had an accent the whole time, and I felt really weird being like, isn't she supposed to be like a native Vegas person? Vegas.
Yeah, I'm pretty
resident?
sure. Is she from the UK?
Yeah, so there was a bit of that thing, but yeah, no, it's a good point. I guess that was the one thing I will bring up after the fact. But Dave, what were your thoughts on the?
I mean, dude, like, there's too much happening, which I think is a problem with Snyder. Like, sometimes in his movies, it's just like there's always like so much going on, and he wants to fit so much into the movie that like it kind of becomes a little convoluted. And like that's his problem in general with studios, is that studios want to just put out a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to say, hey, we're paying you to put out this type of movie. If you don't put out this type of movie, then we will have problems, i.e. Justice League and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They wanted a popcorn flick, and Snyder didn't want to do that. Snyder wanted to put out the Snyder Cut, right? And that was the problem with that whole franchise in general, is that studios have a problem with letting people have creative control. And because of that, then the directors have to do stuff like put in 18 different plot points because they want some of these scenes and some of these people to like have their due, because they work with them day in and day out. Yeah, I have no idea how the movie industry works as a whole, but just watching like
No, you're
multiple
right.
reviews and hearing people talk about it and like hearing everything that like Snyder had to go through just to get a movie that he made out for us to see, and the fact that it was 4 hours long, like that's fucking insane, bro. So I think that was a whole product of like, once again, the studio and the director being like, you want this type of movie, but like I want to put out this type of movie, and okay, let's compromise. And so that's where I think all the smaller plot points came from. But having said that, it was kind of convoluted, and I didn't really care for him that much. I didn't really have any favorites. I wanted the movie to be, this is the story, this is how we'll execute it, go. We didn't need like all the other little points. It's just like, and if you were gonna do it, then maybe you should have made like, this is plot point A, this is plot point B, and this is plot point C. Instead, it was like 26 different plot points, and like it just kind of loses its essence. Like each plot point as it goes on loses its like message or whatever you were trying to convey. So I didn't really care for them that much, but I see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. Zack Snyder is just an excessive type of filmmaker. He's very excessive, and he is very, like, you can tell that there are directors that kind of just pop movies out to make money. But Zack Snyder is like one of those dudes that really appreciates making film and putting movies out and writing and every aspect of it. He bought like special lenses for this movie. I think they even made custom lenses for this movie.
They did.
Yeah, he did a lot of good work in
He wrote it, obviously. He directed it, obviously. We saw, and then he operated cameras. Like, he was in depth. And then kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, like all the Easter eggs and little details that no one even is probably going to realize. And it's kind of like, it's a true artist, you know, like he's pleasing himself. He's happy with his own work. He doesn't necessarily have to like abide by the ways of the studio. And I think understanding that now, and especially after seeing Justice League, his cut, I have such a great appreciation for Zack Snyder as a director.
It's do you hit like all the you hit the point that I was going to try to get across, but yeah, you are right. Like,
sorry.
No, you're right. I completely agree with.
What's your take?
Sorry for doing my job. Like, no.
sorry. So no, you're right. Like he's one of those, like, it's weird because we still just associate him with like horror and action and shit like that. But he's very like, if you can round it to someone, it's like very John Carpenter, Quentin Tarantino-esque of a writer and director, where they write it just because they're like, hey, I'm writing this because I want to. I'm making this because I want to. This is going to come out the way I want it to. And that's why he has had such pushback with certain films and stuff like that. That's why he doesn't have like a huge repertoire, especially like in his genres. He doesn't have like a huge list of movies, but the movies that he's done, I've seen most of them. Like Dawn of the Dead, that was my first, going back to you, that was my first horror movie that I watched with my dad, like in the movie theaters.
Same.
And it was really weird too, because it was me, my dad, and my brother. And when we got out of the movie, we were all just like, y'all want to go to Wendy's? And then we're like sitting down, just deadpan, just eating food. And we're just like, my brother's like, I'm going to say it. Hey, after watching Dawn of the Dead, do you wonder why zombies like eating people? Like, do we taste good? Is that why we all came to eat? Because we were all hungry? And like, me and my dad were both like, yeah, we were trying to figure that out too. And like, it's still, that movie is so classic to me because like, it's just well written. And I feel this movie, I'm going to side with both of you, where the plots weren't hard to follow at all. Like, they weren't. I agree with you, Vince. Like, they weren't hard to follow. They were very kind of cookie cutter kind of plots. Like, one is like, oh, the safe cracker. I knew what was going to happen the moment he was going to figure out that safe combination. I'm like, that's him achieving a dream. That's all he wanted to do. And I'm just like, his character's gone. The love interest one was kind of thrown in fucking randomly as shit. If you told me the plot was really just them going in there, trying to kind of steal the money from the hotel owner, and then realizing, oh, there is an intelligent breed of zombies. They're the alphas. That would have been a cohesive story. That for me, I would have appreciated that story more, and that would have been like less of a film. But you know, I appreciate Zack Snyder for putting out what he put out, and I enjoyed the only plot that I really enjoyed was who's the guy, Chainsaw Boy? I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I have
Boy.
Vanderhoe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Vanderhoe.
He's a cool character. I liked his character a lot.
Bro, very cool. Very like you assume just a tough guy, but a tough guy with a heart of gold. I loved his story. Like following his arc through the whole thing, I really, really, really enjoyed it. But how did you like that like weird nod to like the parallel world? That nod in the safe scene. Vince brought it up, so I was gonna dive a little into it.
Yeah,
Dude, I loved that because that was actually one of Snyder's like kind of cuts where he's like, I wish I could have done that. That's where if that movie did that, I would have loved it. Where it's like a parallel kind of circle around.
Yeah.
I would have.
but then
I
we're
would.
moving into like 4 different genres because it's like horror, action, comedy, and then we get into the science fiction of it. It's just like, okay, all right.
But then again,
let's
like he's
pick
not
an
abiding
option.
by the rule of genres. Who's to say he can't be 4 genres, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a Snyder flick. It could
Fair
that
enough.
in itself could be a Snyder. That is a Snyder thing, where it's like 4. But I liked it. What were you going to say, Vince? You had a point.
You were asking about the alternate timelines, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, the theory.
So, I have a theory. I don't know if it's gonna play out or not. Because I know you had sent us just a couple questions to kind of prep us for this episode. And one of them was about this. I'm excited for Netflix zombie universe, and I was like, "What? I don't even know what that is." And so my notes say, "No idea," but if it's alternate timeline, then yes.
So no.
So this is my theory. Is I think that there's gonna be multiple Army of the Dead. Yeah, that's my notes. No idea, but if it's alternate timeline, then yes. Fucking so smart.
Jesus.
Breakfast.
Yeah,
no idea.
I don't
but
know,
pancake.
but if multiple.
That's my grocery list. Yeah, no idea, but maybe eggs.
No idea, but maybe eggs or parallel universes. Make up your mind.
Hilarious.
Love it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make at least 1 or 2 other movies where it's literally the same movie, but it's from different perspectives, and after a certain point, it'll play out differently because it's an alternate timeline. And I think when they saw Bautista and the pilot and the other girl, they saw their bodies. I think that legit was another timeline, and there was other references to alternate timelines in there as well. And I was like, we're hinting at something. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go back and get to see this movie play out in a different way completely.
There was this dude, I think Media Critic, he even said is like that. I thought that was how it was going to end, that the nuke was going to go off, and then that was when Dave Bautista was going to wake up from his screaming fit again. And the
I'd be
movie's
so upset. Oh my god, we are so past people waking up from dreams and that being the reason for the movie. If anyone does that ever again, they deserve a smack.
And this is where we edit the bit where we just all stop talking and Vince wakes up. Oh, damn it.
And then Taylor's just like, babe, what happened? It's just like, oh my God, I thought I was on a
It was all a
podcast with
dream.
Victor and DJ. It's just
Oh my
like,
God.
who are those people? Like,
I had a dream I was on this crazy podcast.
Oh man, but
one guy had a voice as smooth as silk, and the other guy looked like a werewolf.
Which one
way,
of us is?
Really
fucking Teen Wolf, Jesus.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
for the people
You
who
look like a Russian drug lord, Victor.
That's
You look like you're about to be like, Mr. Vic, if you do not bring back what you stole, then I have to do it with Baba Yaga.
the Baba Yaga. Oh man, I'm gonna shit.
What were we talking about?
Army of the. But going back to fucking Vince's point,
Yeah.
So they are making movies. Zack Snyder did talk about wanting to make a parallel world one, like a parallel theory one, and I was like, oh fuck, I would watch that. Like if it's them just dying and then coming back to that point, I would watch that. But what they're doing, the prequel, which is Army of the Dead, Viva Las Vegas. And then they're doing a animated sequel, and I'm curious to see because I want to see what. Spoiler alerts! I want to see.
Is there going to be a sequel?
So that's the DC cut, or that's the DC drop. Did you watch the after credit scene for the movie?
No, I didn't know there was an after credit.
Didn't even realize, dude. After
Wait, you didn't watch it?
hours, After 2.5 hours of a movie, I'm not continuing to watch the credits.
Did you
see if
did you
more.
watch? No, wait. When Vanderholt survived.
Oh, and you found out he's bit. Like
Yeah. So.
Oh,
that was after credits. I thought that was like mid.
That was that was mid credits, I guess. But
it was in the plane, right?
Yeah, that was in the plane. They're going to Mexico, and it's supposed to be one about Mexico City, that like the aftermath in Mexico City, and the whole drop with him is that if you paid attention, what they called the zombies throughout the movie, the ones that could kind of think, they were called alphas.
Yeah,
Vanderholt, yeah, he had the tattoo on his chest that was the Omega. So it's supposed to be, that's why it took so long for the infection to infect him, is that he's different. He's not going to be like a normal alpha. That's why he survived, what was it, like 4 days? And when you get bit, the motherfucker, you turn in like 20 minutes. So that's why he survived a little bit longer. So I'm really curious to see that. I did want to bring up something else, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense now that I'm thinking about it. The army guy that got bit in the beginning, he turned like right away.
Yeah, so
this guy's like on a plane.
He was in. Remember, he was also in the safe. He was in the safe for like, it looked like a day or two. Like he was fine, and it's supposed to be that longer. Yeah, it's supposed to be that he has a different. He is a different strain of the infection. That he is the Omega, where that's the sequel supposed to follow. And I'm like, all right, I'm down with that. I'm down with dumb shit. I watched Dawn of the Dead from the old ones to like Rave of the Dead that came out in 2002. That was a fucking piece of trash. So I'm down for like a good production from Zack Snyder for it, but I don't know if you guys knew this. Did you know Chris D'Elia was originally in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, Chris D'Elia. So Tig,
is he in the movie, or did they cut him?
He was the actor that was cut out. Tig Notaro, the pilot, that was Chris D'Elia. That was supposed to be Chris D'Elia.
He talked about it on his podcast way back when. So
yeah, he was.
I'm just picturing Chris D'Elia, like just being his goofy self as the pilot.
So now the character makes a little more sense because I don't know. I follow Tig on like all of her comedy shit. She's actually a really hilarious comedian. It was really interesting when he got cut because they filmed the whole movie. Like there is a version of the movie with him in it. Like there is.
See that.
Yeah, there because so they play it very differently too because Tig actually got to see the movie. Got to see those clips just because Snyder was like, hey, I'm going to refilm this. I need you there. This is what the character's supposed to be like. And she's like, do you want me to act it like that? He's different than I am. I'm not like a kind of harsh dude. He's like, do what you do. And dude, she knocked it out of the park. I like her performance. Her performance in that movie was dope. But isn't that crazy that like Chris D'Elia got edited out of an entire movie?
It is. I'm assuming because it was the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah. It was a
whole other type of thing.
We don't have to go there.
We don't know the information. So
gotcha.
He was
That's interesting. I was wondering who the recast was. You said someone got recasted, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah,
I was looking for someone from earlier in the movie to change into a different person. I was like, all these people are the same. Someone got recast. What are you talking about?
It's like change at the end. Like, cool, no doubt.
You just see Dave Bautista walking. He's just like, we got to go save my daughter. And it like cuts back throughout a wall. And it's just John Cena. It's like, all right, guys, remember my daughter. And they're just like, what the fuck?
Listen, they can't see me. So just follow me and you should be okay.
Did someone hear that? Tig Notaro, she had to like, so it's really cool. I actually looked into it. She had to record everything by herself. There was very little. There was very little reshoots with the other actors for those scenes. So she was like, I had to like act by myself most of the time.
I guess kind of thinking back on it, all her scenes are pretty minimal. It's like her and one or two other people.
Yeah, and then if you pay attention, it's very camera worky. Like when they're talking, they're talking in a group setting. It's really like they're talking and you're seeing the back of the character and she's talking, and then you flip the camera and it's like, oh, hey, what's up? You could kind of see it when Dave Bautista says her, like his mouth doesn't link up when it says her. Which I'm just like, you could have just recorded that goddamn scene. She hasn't changed. And I'm like, you could have just re-recorded that fucking scene. But I think she knocked it out of the water, but I do want to see that Chris D'Elia cut as well. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
What did you guys think about the characters? Were there... I felt kind of like there was too many. Do you guys agree with that? Or
yeah, that's why they were fodder, dude. It's a horror movie like rule. Like they put that many characters because it's like you need people to die. Like what was the I have a sorry, we all each have collective notes. Chambers. I thought that character was just dumb, and they threw her in there just for that one scene to get killed.
No, dude. Chambers was dope. I loved her.
The Latina?
Yeah.
The little Latina?
Her character goes kind of like there's like a rivalry between her and Garrett Dillahunt's character, who I want to talk about. But I love the back and forth between them, and then how he kind of tricks her to go down the wrong aisle in like the kitchen or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then she just goes into a frenzy of killing zombies. Yeah. And like she can't be stopped. Like she's killing everybody. Like she should be dying. And then she gets locked in that room, and we're like, well, shit, she's probably dead. And all of a sudden she comes blasting through this window, all to get killed like shortly after. But I don't know. I liked her character. I did not think that was throwaway. Maybe a little bit more development to, give it a little bit more of a shit when she dies. But that's everybody in this movie, in my opinion. They just need more development.
I mean, I think it's clearly like you see. I think my favorite character in the whole movie was Ludwig. Like that was my favorite. That was a standout for me. Ludwig, the safecracker.
Oh my god, he was so funny,
bro. He was like just a brilliantly comedic character because he was so like honest, and he was just like, I can't do a Swedish accent, but he was just like, I don't know what to do. Like he's like, remember when they're just like, how do we kill zombies? And it's just like, you just pretty in the head. He's just like, would a rock do? And I'm just like, I'm like, this is that guy at work that everyone just like everyone's like, all right, yeah, we got this team powwow, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like that one dude talking. You're like, all right, bro. I think his arc and the whole thing, his character was really well fleshed out. And that's why I liked it. I didn't like Chambers, though, I'll be honest with you. What's up, Dave? What's your favorite? What's a good character?
No, probably same. Just because he was like so naive. Well, not naive, but just like very affable. So it was fun. So it's fun watching his interaction with like the rest of the group. So it was cool.
Yeah, I think they did a good job at developing him. Like you don't have to get super. I don't need to know where this dude grew up and how he got to where he is, but like at least they gave him enough depth to and personality to the point where we like this guy. Like we want him to stick around. He's making us laugh. He's smart. He's like probably the most valuable asset of the team, low key. He's like a smart dude that he's gonna make or break the whole thing. But yeah, I felt like his character was one of the few very well-rounded characters.
That I want to go into your thing about the rivalry because I'm curious about that. But what you brought up that point, that just reminds me of the movie with Tig's character where she brings it up. She's like, look, I get it. The blonde guy, most important here. Me, number 2. You probably falls in 3 or 4, where she starts like naming them down.
She does. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That's funny.
Where she ends up talking about your homeboy, Martin, or the guy played by Garrett. So, what rivalry were you talking about? I'm curious. I'm actually really like. I just thought they didn't like each other. I thought he was a creep.
Yeah, it's just a back and forth. I don't know if there was some sort of history we didn't know about, but even from like when they're on the bus and he's trying to talk to her, and she kind of, I think it's because she saw right through him. She knew that he was kind of like there as kind of a spy to just like see that things got taken care of.
Yeah,
the way that Kaneda wanted it, because he's like working for Kaneka.
Taneka, sorry. Yeah.
Taneka, sorry. Yeah, he's like working directly with him. I don't know, dude. I'm that guy. The rich guy.
That other guy.
The rich guy.
In a world.
Yeah, the rivalry between them. There wasn't really like a rivalry, but there was obviously some tension. Like they were button heads, they were bickering, and he kind of just like, I'm gonna kill this bitch now. And he tries to, and kind of, plays a big part in why she does die. But then, dude, he gets it later. He gets eaten by that zombie tiger, which was pretty badass.
Bro, so it's funny that you like that character because my dad liked that character too.
Yeah.
And we were watching the movie together. I watched it 3 times because I knew we were going to talk about it. I watched it 3 times. My dad didn't watch it, and we were watching it. And the moment she dies, he's like, that fucker has to die in a painful way. And when you hear something and you watched a movie already, and I'm just like,
I could hear your dad saying that. That's like, your dad definitely said that.
Yeah. And then honestly, just watching him get mauled to death by a zombie lion, I was like, that's awesome. And my dad's like, that's what that fucker should get. And I'm like, all right, Dad, you got the Latin pride right there. That's what I appreciate about you.
Yeah.
I will say like a few things. Like it was so weird watching like such a well stacked cast, but which character did you not like? Like there has to be characters that you just didn't like, or you thought were pointless to be in the movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
there had to be those characters. For
David, you have any?
Maybe.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. There
Vince, take
were
that
people that I'm like just forgetting about right now. Like you could tell me they were in a movie, and I was like, wait, who? You have to explain who they were because their characters is so lackluster. Like they don't. There's no depth to them, and I think. I understand the concept behind let's build a bigger cast and have them killed off, but they didn't really do that. They kept everyone around until almost the end.
Mm-hmm.
And even still doing that, they failed to build a lot of these characters up because I just really didn't give a shit when most of these people died. I was like, was a cool character, but we'll see you later. Like there was maybe a handful of characters that were likable. The acting absolutely terrible in some of these scenes. Like the girl that plays Kate, I feel like they casted her just because she's good looking. She like I've seen this done in many movies before too.
Mm-hmm.
I think even we talked about it in Godzilla, where they cast that like hot Latina girl, and it's just because she's hot and like she can't act, and it kind of ruins every scene she's in. It's like, nah, just get someone who can act. Like we'll get over it.
Was she wearing a tank top in the previous scene? No. It was like, why does she have one now? They just were.
Yes, that happened in Godzilla. They literally switched her out for a tank top during the wet scene where everyone gets flooded with water. I was like, come on, really? Like
you just hear so
playing into a certain demographic there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I will say these are my I will say because I feel like we all kind of agree on that where it's like the character. Dave, you agree with that where it's like all the characters weren't any you would hate minus like the character you're supposed to hate, right? Martin was the only character I kind of didn't like. You okay?
He might be having technical issues here.
We're about to see a zombie just tackle his ass.
Yes, David's having zombie issues.
Just get yanked back.
That's right. I don't know, man. I don't agree with that. I in the sense of like disliking how he was written and how the actor portrayed him and stuff. I liked him in that sense, but he was definitely a villain. So I guess I would dislike him in that sense.
It's weird that I disliked him. And I just
his acting and stuff.
Just as his acting, because it's so weird that he played this. There were certain people that their acting was atrocious. I'll be honest. Well, there's the Coyote Lily, bro. I fucking hate
knockoff.
That was gonna be my choice for like the throwaway character.
Why don't you like Aldi brand Kristen Stewart?
I just didn't appreciate it. Wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me. So
knock off Mila whatever. No. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's the same vibe. I'm just like, holy shit, is she in Resident Evil? Like, what the fuck's going on right now?
Little Mila Jovovich.
I will.
Yeah, some like real try-hard characters in this. It's just like
it was.
I'm a big fan of Theo Rossi. He plays Juice in Sons of Anarchy.
Dude,
he did a great job in the movie. But kind of like, as much as I like him and thought he did an awesome job in the movie, his character, it's
fodder,
kind of basic. Like we've seen that dude so many times in movies.
He's a fodder character. Like
we all saw that he was gonna get what's coming to him. Like it's not gonna surprise us.
I think that movie. These are my thoughts on it because we could go on and on for it. one of my favorite things was the character. They all had really cool deaths. Can we all agree on that? Like they all, for the most part, fucking had amazing deaths. Like, dude, some of the deaths, and I even felt some of them too. When like, what is it, Ludwig? He had to he grabs freaking Vanderholt and throws him in the safe because his shoulders like dislocated. He's like, get in, and you just see him grab it and start closing it. Like I'm like, dude, that's an awesome death. I like that. Mm-hmm. Most of the characters, their deaths were really dope. And it just sucks when their deaths are dope and you don't feel a lot for the characters. There were only 2 deaths Ludwig's death and then Tig's character's death. I didn't give a shit about Dave Bautista. I knew that was coming from a mile away because his fucking dumbass daughter. But like, I feel like the movie itself, like, I don't know. It's a weird thought.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's like a weird thought. Like it's such a weird movie.
The deaths, the death scenes outplayed the life of the character. It's kind of dumb. I guess a better way to say it is their deaths overweighed the entire life that they portrayed in the movie, which is it's kind of sad. Like you're remembered for the way you died instead of the way you literally acted as the character.
Oh, you're the dude that pulled your grenades. I really like that one.
The guy that got eaten by the tiger. Yeah, exactly.
Great scene. Oh, you got speared. Yeah, that was me. I'm the speared guy. What about you, Dave? Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry. You okay?
Yeah, I was just listening.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't want to. I
started drifting off a little bit, to be honest with you, because I was just like, yeah,
bro, it's the Hawaiian shirt. You're on vacation.
You're on vacation right now.
I'm just super chill right now, guys. Like,
you missed it before we started recording. He just took like 4 shots of whiskey, and we were just like, well, we're gonna do this. I do want to hear your final thoughts on it because this movie we could go on for hours and hours and hours about it. Because it is one of those movies that I enjoyed, and it had enough plots where you could just deep dissect, and it is what it is. And I just want to start it off, and I will start the rotation next to DJ because I want to hear his thoughts, and then I did with Vince. But my thoughts with the movie, my final thoughts with it was that it was a good bad movie. It was a movie that I will recommend someone to watch it, but I won't sit there and say, hey, there's great acting minus, there's a few characters in there that had amazing performances. But I'm just going to tell people, I'm like, hey, this is a good, you want to sit down and waste 2 hours? This is the movie to do it to. Mr. DJ?
I'll recommend it to people as a popcorn flick, like I said in the beginning of this. But in terms of like replay value, I probably wouldn't watch it again. Like just all willy nilly. I'll probably, it's one of those movies that I'll watch like 1 or 2 scenes on YouTube. Like I'll look for like 1 or 2 scenes. But it's a popcorn flick. It's cool. It's whatever. But it wasn't really memorable. That's nothing, like, I'm not trying to shit on the movie or anything. There's nothing against Snyder. There's nothing against the cast or anything like that. But it just felt like really heavy. Like, just there was a lot in it. Like, there was kind of too much. Like, like Vince said, who's to say, like, you don't have to fit in just one category for a movie. But I felt like they were trying to fit into one category for all of them. Like they were trying too hard to be an action movie and too hard to be a horror movie and too hard to be a like a science fiction movie, and like it was just like pick your poison, bro, and then just put all you got into it. Like I could even do 1 or 2 genres, but like when you start putting 3 and 4 together, it's just too much. Like you're doing way too much. There were too many people. And like, yeah, we talked about that it was supposed to be like most of them, like a majority was supposed to be fodder, but it's just like, all right. Like I love Dawn of the Dead and it pretty much followed that same suit. So I think he probably needed to go back to that kind of formula, but it was a good movie. There were bad parts about it though. Like you said, it's a good, bad movie. I would recommend somebody to watch it, but I wouldn't watch it again. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree in the sense where it is definitely overpacked with a lot of detail and plot line and story, it can definitely be a little chaotic. Overall, I thought it was a really fun movie. Again, it's nothing to take seriously, so I think if anyone's going in trying to take it seriously, you're just in the wrong mindset and you're not going to enjoy it. I'm really excited for the future of this franchise, what they do with the animation and what they do with the prequel, or sequel, whatever it is. But yeah,
Prequel.
It's a movie, you know. Zack Snyder made it. It's a teensy bit try hard.
It's a movie.
Can that be the title for the
The
episode?
teensy bit try hard. Yeah, sure, why not? And I say it with respect to Zack Snyder too, because I don't want to go back on my word from earlier as saying that I respect him as a filmmaker. He puts a lot of thought behind what he does, and sometimes, you know, it's a little much. Like, just make more movies. If you have that much imagination and that much going on in your mind that you're trying to jam it into this movie, just make a 1 and a 2, make a different movie. Like, I know it costs money, but I feel like he's just jamming a lot into one movie, and that's the overall flaw of this one.
I agree with. It's so awesome. You guys brought up such good points, and it's so funny because I'm repeating what we're saying in my head. None of us are really bashing the movie, but it's so weird that we're not bashing the movie in any ways. Like, we all completely agree it's a great, fun movie, but we all have our critiques on it where they're all falling, where a lot of people are falling in it and they're bashing on it. And I like that all three of us could have had this conversation and not sit there and be like, you know, this is why it sucked. It was more like, hey, no, it was a good movie and it was fun. And it's always fun just sitting down and having these kind of conversations with you. And thank you guys for watching the movie, even though I didn't know if you guys had plans of not watching it, but thank you so much for watching it. This was a fun conversation to have with both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got it, stud. All right, that's it. It's time to wrap this shit up. All right, for everybody watching and for everybody listening, thanks. Okay, you guys support us and we appreciate it. Now, if we could just get some money for this, that'd be great. But since we're not, we just want to thank you for the love of it all. And as always, I am Sundance, aka DJ.
I am Slick. Thank you again, Vic.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. If you guys haven't subscribed to our Spotify and YouTube yet, go ahead and do that. We appreciate it. Check out our other videos. They are on our page in the video column.
Are the comments on?
Yeah, the comments are on. Yeah, it was a weird box I didn't check.
Turn
comments
the
are
fucking comments on.
Sorry, you just comment all you want, guys. It's okay. Just say whatever.
Don't make me come over there. God damn it.
Okay.
Right, guys. Next week? Sorry, wait. A trailer for next week.
Little, just, you know, next week, it's my week, and I like to, you know, give a little bit of a hint to what we're doing. I don't want to give it away completely, but I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna turn this podcast upside down next week. We're not following our normal format. We're not doing our normal thing. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game with each other, and it's gonna be super fun.
Ooh,
or a disaster. Cool. Let's see what happens. Either way, it's going down.
All right.
So with that being said,